turkey intro. Look at that. There's an intro video.
Wow.
We're live. And now, and I'm just like, I think you're supposed to be like quiet or something while this is on, but I can't help myself. While that's happening, let me get out of Old MacDonald Had a Farm on YouTube, because that's what's up on my phone. I'm gonna get onto the Facebook app.
Old MacDonald Had a Farm.
My 2-year-old, he is so into Old MacDonald. It's starting to be a problem. It's like it's causing a lot of strife in the family. There's a lot of situations.
So we had 30 people over for Thanksgiving, and I grilled the entire farm. I told people, Old MacDonald had a farm.
He had that farm,
but we ate it for Thanksgiving.
And it was delicious. I'll tell my son that so he can stop worrying about Old MacDonald's farm.
He had a farm.
Thing. Yeah,
we cooked them.
I mean, I guess the song is right then, because it doesn't say Old MacDonald has a farm.
No, he had a farm because we had to put him in the smoker.
That's where they go.
That's where they go.
That's the best spot. What did you all make?
Oh man! So
give us a rundown.
Grilled a huge turkey. Right, smoked that.
Are you you like a briner? You got a brine you like to go to, or
a lot of turkeys now are pre-brined, so you're getting spoiled. So, but I did get to use this new thermometer from Meter. Have you heard of Meter? That sucker is amazing. So, I covered the whole thing in butter and herbs, and I did the whole deal. And then I did huge. I think they're probably not. I don't know if they're legal, but like we did these huge pork tenderloins from.
Oh, I thought you were about to say bald eagles or like spotted owls or something when you said I don't know if they're legal.
Hey, look, man, I don't talk about everything I eat on Old MacDonald's farm. That's
true. That's true. Yeah.
What happens? Yeah.
What happens at Old MacDonald's farm stays at Old.
Exactly. Don't worry what we're smoking. But I was smoking these huge pork tenderloins, and they didn't look real. Usually they're like, the size of a football. Yeah. These were the size of like 4 footballs. Sam's Club, Walmart is injecting these swine. Guaranteed.
Yeah, they got a trick. They got something up their sleeve.
They got something up their sleeve. And then of course chickens. And I love cooking chickens. So yeah.
Did you do a turducken? Did you throw a duck in the middle between the chicken?
I know my John Madden is not no. I always think it's
have you ever tried it?
Oh yeah. Incredible.
You've done it? I've never tried it.
It's a lot of work, man.
I bet it is. And the way on the Thanksgiving Day games, how they always get like 3 drumsticks lined up. I was like, where do I find that turkey? I want to shoot that one.
Yeah, the turkey with 18 legs.
Yeah. Just really strutting through the woods. I'd be like, I'm shooting that son of a gun.
Yeah, but hey,
where he's at. I want that one.
So now that we're in the mountains, like now that I know what these male turkeys are like when they're territorial, when you have screwed up, because these turkeys throw their like talons in the ground and drag them while they're coming after you. It's intense.
And they like drum. They're like, I'm gonna come and kick your ass.
Exactly. Like, don't get my ladies. Like, it's over for you, buddy. And I'm like, no, it's over. It's over for you.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah.
I dig it. I informed my in-laws of this after the fact. We had a turkey that had been sitting in our freezer. I think it had been in there for 3 years, maybe 4 years. And I bought a turkey just in case that turkey looked like just a freezer burned chicken nugget when I took it out. But I pulled that thing open and it was just like, the sky opened up, the sun came down, the turkey was golden. It was just ready to go. And I told people as they were eating it that it was like 4 years old sitting in the freezer. One strategy that I know for like red meat is the longer you keep it in the freezer, the better it gets, because it just breaks down the muscle. You might have some freezer burn to get off there, but it's the opposite of fish. Like fish, you don't want to freeze if you don't have to. Red meat, freeze it longer. Turns out turkey, freeze it longer. It was so dang tender. That thing was just like the best bird we've ever
What
had.
vintage is this turkey? Oh yeah, this is a nice, beautiful, like 2003 vintage turkey.
This was a COVID vintage, because I think we bought it when they were like on sale, and we were just like, yeah, who knows what's gonna happen.
This is from the Pilgrims. This vintage is old world. It tastes like those guys that like, oh, smells like tennis ball and tastes like rubber tire, and
yeah, it's got an aroma of shoe leather.
That's right. Oh, this is a fine turkey. What year is this, Dan?
I pasted it in shoe polish, and it's delicious. It's very chewy. It's a fine leather. It's fine turkey leather.
This is a fine turkey that I bought at Food Lion 5 years ago. You're welcome. It was $3 a pound.
I probably paid $50 to run the freezer for the last 4 or 5 years to keep this turkey cold. Just
You're welcome.
Some people complain about like if you deep fry a turkey, and that some people being me and other cheap asses like me, when you deep fry a turkey, you go through like $50 worth of peanut oil. I think I went through more power in that chest freezer just to keep this bird frozen for the in-laws. So I don't know if they'll ever appreciate it.
To make Thanksgiving. Y'all better be thankful.
That's right. That's right.
Thankful you can get. If you're not thankful, get out.
Yeah. Then you're not allowed because it's not pout giving. It's Thanksgiving.
Right. If you're we just keep amassing people. It's just ridiculous.
Where they come from? Like your neighbors just keep like come over and they invite
their friends. We catch strays all the. No, it's amazing. Like they just keep coming. I'm like, okay, well, at some point I gotta have to cut them off.
I was gonna say that's how you know you're making good food. I had a similar thing happen where it was like my wife and I and just her parents, and then she has 3 siblings, and so they all got extended family stuff. One of the siblings and her husband and their 3 kiddos were gonna like stop over when their other family thing got done, but like nobody else was on the menu. It was just my wife and I, our 3 kids, and her parents. But you always you're always gonna make at least 3 times as much as you need because leftovers don't, but then it was like they came over, and after an hour or two, they're getting in on the food, right? Because everybody's just talking about it, and then the other one showed up, and then the other one showed up, and I was like, it just turned out to be like everybody. We got them all,
absolutely.
But nobody's not grabbing a plate, which tells me like that they're digging the 4-year-old vintage turkey. They're liking that.
They're liking, this shoe leather tastes delicious. I just need to dunk it in gravy.
That's right. And then when you boil the broth, you just got to boil it extra long. My mother-in-law kept turning the stove off, like thinking I forgot about it. And I was like, Darlene, like that bird needs to be in there for a while. We gotta boil that baby down for a while. Got to get all the brine into the broth. You got to get all that salt out of there.
Well, that's Thanksgiving. Yeah. Old McDonald had a farm.
It's gone now. It's gone now. Or maybe he's just replenishing it. Maybe he's restocking it.
So you're tucking your kids in with Old McDonald. You know what I tucked my kids in with tonight? And I give you a million guesses you can't guess. So back in the day, I was a 2nd degree black belt. I grew up learning Okinawan karate. And my girls are teenagers, and I'm teaching them how to do a push-up. I'm like, we got to work on that. But eventually I'm like, all right, this is how we do it.
50 more push-ups yet today. I'm trying to do 100 push-ups a day, and I just, as you said that, I'm like,
well, do you do them on your first 2 knuckles? Because if you're a black belt, you do them on your first 2 knuckles because that's what you punch people in the face with.
What's the weakest belt?
White belt.
Okay, put me there.
White belt.
Yeah, I'm there.
White belt, and then
I'm like a clear belt, like a white belt.
We don't even give you a belt. We're just kind of like, look, dude, let's see if we make it.
It's very translucent. You can hardly tell it's there.
But I'm teaching my daughter how to fight old way, not new way, like the old. Because we used to, back in the day, you didn't wear any pads. Like you hit each other like with your hands, not with those stupid gloves, but you actually like hit each other. So I'm teaching my daughter like how to fight before I put her to bed. So you teach them.
That's how you put her to bed. You just knocked her ass out.
Oh, well, I told her where like all the sensitive parts on the body. And so I'm like, look, I'm going to pinch you. And I pinched her in a certain spot, like under her thigh. Cause that's where you're really sensitive. She fell to the floor. And like 10 minutes later, she's like, it still hurts. I'm like, yep. So if anyone ever grabs you, cause I'm like, if anyone ever grabs you, I'm going to show you exactly where you grab them. Like you're grabbing someone by the nose, but you grab them right there in the soft spot of the inside of their thigh. They will hit the floor.
I've got a thing that this reminds me of. I think you'll extra appreciate this with your fantasy football knowledge here. Speaking of pinching, and I'm never going to live this one down. My wife and I were dating, and we were up at a buddy's cabin, and it was Labor Day weekend. So I got a fantasy football draft going, and my wife was behaving like me. It was really frustrating. She was like being annoying and flirty and stuff and wouldn't leave me alone. I'm just like, Marty, like I'm trying to do this fantasy football draft. And like, we just got a couple rounds left. Chill out. Like I'm done. And then I will give you attention. Like it's like she was behaving like a freaking
Why
Labrador.
can't you do that on a random Wednesday night?
Any other time,
do that then?
Right in the middle of draft, and it's like, it
like
was
when she's sleepy at like 10:30, and you're trying to like flirt, and she doesn't want to do it then. She wants to do it when you're in the middle of your fantasy football, trying to draft in the first round. And
yeah,
she
I got big moves to make, and I pinched her right on the back of the arm, like flirtatious back.
Oh yeah, this part right here is tender, bro,
dude. And I got her worse than I intended to, and it bruised her.
Yeah.
And then her sister and her mom saw it, and this is like we were just starting to date, and they were like, "Is he being mean to you? Is he beating you?" And Marty was like, "No, I was just bothering him a lot during a fantasy football draft."
Oh, I'm beating her in fantasy football.
Oh, that's I kicked her ass. Yeah, I kicked her ass that year because she was too busy dicking around, and I was drafting the winning team.
She was, drafting Brian Westbrook, who I was trying to get in the second round on Philly.
Yeah, she got distracted, and she picked my first player. How many fantasy leagues you got this year? We're going to talk about LiveSwitch, everybody.
No, we're going to talk about fantasy football.
We got to do some fantasy football.
I have improved myself down to 5 leagues. That is a big deal.
What were you at?
The first step is admitting you have a problem.
Yeah.
No, I was at like 25 leagues. So when you're in leagues with like Matthew Berry on ESPN, like you're going for it. So eventually I had all these kids, and I was like, look, I can't do all these leagues. Yeah. So it was just a matter of whittling them down. And so now one of the pro leagues I'm in, it's full on. Like we only do rookie drafts. We have huge benches. Like we try to make it just like the NFL because we're nerds, and we
it's like all dynasty.
And we give people our lunch money like when they want to beat us up because we're super nerds, Okay. So like we have to do like we're in the NFL because as one does. But so
you're actually drafting. You're really drafting.
Yeah, our drafts
take really drafting.
Our drafts takes 15 minutes or less because you're only doing 3 rounds of the rookies.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, because big benches, you got your teams, and then people actually retire. Like Tom Brady retired from my dynasty team. That was a tough spot.
Did you give him a call? You're like, Tom, I'll offer you.
Here's the thing: you can come and coach UNC Chapel Hill. Oh no, that's Belichick. I got you. What is he doing? What is Belichick doing?
Is he gonna do it, or is he just talking?
Oh, he's doing it. Like it's happening. He's gonna coach the UNC Chapel Hill football team.
That's weird,
isn't it?
Super weird.
Like that's how you want to go out.
Yeah, it feels like a weird. It feels like a regret. It feels like you were in a relationship. It was amazing, and then it slowly fell apart. And then you like took some time off, but instead of like coming up with a great solution, you then did a rebound after.
Yeah, it's like you're Michael Jordan trying to play pro league baseball or Tim Tebow. You're like,
that's what it is.
Like you're good enough to play
when you're 75.
Yeah, you can play on the Durham Bulls, but you're not going to go to Atlanta. Like, bro, like give it up.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Just try to end decently.
It's a weird rebound.
And me being from that area, I'm like, of course he'd go to Chapel Hill. Can't get him at NC State. Got to go to Chapel Hill. Anyway.
Maybe he's actually trying to coach basketball there. He's just trying to get like a weird in coach in football, and then he's going to transition to basketball.
Who knows? I mean, here's the thing.
Belichick.
Much as I give him a hard time, he's going to recruit. If you're in high school and you want to go play college, you're going to go play with Bill Belichick because he's going to tell you how to get into the pros. He knows he knows how to negotiate. He knows how to get paid. Mm-hmm. It's just weird. Like, can you imagine Chapel Hill like being like Alabama or Georgia?
It will be weird. They're always like a B level. They have flashes, but they're not elite. It'll be weird if they're elite all of a sudden. Yeah. But in today's game, I mean, it's the same as like Deion took Colorado from like nothing to something in a year.
But Deion's going the other way. He's going college to pro. We got Belichick going from like doing it with rings to like after Chapel Hill, it's like my son's like travel ball league.
I was gonna say maybe it's like a charitable thing. Maybe it's charity. It's like I want to give back to the community. I'm gonna go coach some college kids.
I'd rather him like show up like coaching roller derby or something for the women, like that are bashing each other, like something totally random. You're like, that's interesting. That'll get on ESPN,
on the Ocho for sure. Be out there. I'd be watching that. Oh, that is weird. It's like it is a weird demotion. I immediately think of like Harbaugh, who did it.
Yeah,
but kind of like it did it in a different way.
He went like back and then up, and like he's like got it. Like, can you see Belichick going back to the NFL and like doing it like Harbaugh's doing with the Chargers? Like, I don't see it.
Belichick's just too old. I guess
he's dating a 24-year-old girl, so maybe he's like he's gonna be like this like ageless wonder.
Yeah, who's the guitar player for the Rolling Stones? He's gonna be that guy.
Exactly. Like always got it. Maybe he's just always got it. Maybe we're just the duds, man. Like we just put our cleats up and call it a day.
Have you ever worn a cutoff hooded sweatshirt?
No. Who does that?
Me either. That's probably it. That's why
it's not a thing. I've never seen it in the wild. And if you did, you'd be like,
I've only ever seen it on an NFL sideline with Bill Belichick. There's probably a few other folks.
What does he do? He's like, let me get the shears out in here.
Yeah. Like, man, I'm cold, but my extremities aren't.
Where did he learn that? Like, you're a little overheated. Let's just chop the sleeves off.
I was just saying, maybe his blood circulates in reverse. And so instead of his torso being warm and then his extremities getting cold like the rest of us, maybe his extremities are warm, but his torso gets cold. So he's like, I got an idea.
But it's like a thing. Like if you do that, you're like, oh, you're doing the Belichick. Like he's got it's like wearing something like dad shoes or something like Nike Monarchs. You're like, I don't know if I want to be known for that.
Yeah. He's cooler. He's cooler than we give him credit for. Is all I can.
No, he's cooler than we are. I mean, but we're just hating. That's okay. That's just
that's true. It is true. At least we can admit it. At least
we're just trying to figure it out. Like UNC Chapel Hill, how did that happen? Anyway, go ahead.
Maybe the Badgers can pick him up. Maybe you can do a year there, and then my Badgers can grab him because the Badgers are in pretty rough shape. They're on a slide. They're on quite the slide.
They need Deion Sanders, my man. Deion.
They need somebody. Somebody cool's got to show up here because we're getting worse and worse and worse.
It would be cool to like pull out of the woodwork where you're like, yeah.
You know who they actually had? He was their D coordinator, and then they let him go and went and brought in this Luke Fickle dude. But they had Jim Leonard, who played for the Ravens for a long time and like played for the Badgers and played for the Ravens and was their D coordinator, and they didn't give him the job. Jim Leonard should have been the head coach. Like he's a Wisconsin boy through and through. He'd be,
or Brett Favre shows up, and you're like, Brett Favre. Like you need like
if Favre showed up, everybody would come.
I'd be like, dude, sell out. We're selling out the stands.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Here's your daily dose of painkillers. Get your asses out there. Painkillers, whiskey. Now go play some football.
And he's smoking like old Reds on the side. Come on, boys.
Yeah, with a chew in his mouth. He'd have a chew in his mouth and smoking, and
everybody's like foam fingers are out.
Yeah,
dude. That's entertainment. They didn't ask us, Dan. They didn't ask us how to bring college football back, but we could do it.
Yeah, just like get Ocho Cinco. You need Ocho Cinco out there, maybe T.O.
Marshawn Lynch on a team.
Oh yeah,
eating Skittles on the sideline. Like
everybody's jersey would just be rainbowed up.
Just get like Phillip Rivers out there. Get like just like people that are like decent and have their day. And then they just try to take a college team and see who can go the furthest.
Antonio Brown.
Oh, that's good stuff.
That'd be interesting. People
very interesting. Absolutely.
He would walk out of the stadium on his own team, though. Is what he would end up doing. I mean, he did that once when he was a player. I assume if the game wasn't going well, he'd probably do the same thing as a coach.
Yes.
Like, you guys suck today. I'm out of here.
Like get Jerry Rice out there. I mean, we could just go down the line.
Barry.
And then get like a movie star or something. Like give Matthew McConaughey a team. He loves hanging out with all these teams. Like just coach one, bro.
That would be good, actually. He'd sound cool. He'd probably like come up with some cool sound.
Like, hey boys, we're all gonna look good, but we're gonna suck a lot.
Yeah,
we're gonna be terrible. But they'll look good. They'll have the cowboy hats and the jeans, and all the girls will love them.
I picture a halftime speech that's like one that you would see in a commercial where they're making fun of halftime speeches that goes something like starts really motivating and then gets off on a weird tangent and kind of finishes in left field.
This is brought to you by Wrangler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carhartt. Wait a second.
Now get out there.
Did our coach just get paid by Carhartt for our halftime?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But have you seen the movie Idiocracy?
I have, but I don't remember it.
So the whole like premise of the show is they freeze a couple folks, and like 500 years later, they come out of their pods, but the experiment was forgotten about, and so now they're just in the world 500 years later, and everything is an advertisement. So there's like one guy that's working in the White House, and after everything he says, he's like, "Brought to you by Carl's Jr." And the one of the frozen people who was picked to be frozen for being the most average person in the military at the time is now the smartest human in the world by a long shot. And the dude that says "brought to you by Carl's Jr." Says whatever he says, and then says "brought to you by Carl's Jr." The smartest man in the world says, "Why do you keep saying that?" He's like, "Because they pay me every time I do. If you're so smart, why come you don't know that?" So it's that. It's everything is an advertisement. It's great. It's where we're going. It's where we're going. Brought to you by Service Monster. I did forget to mention my sponsor, by the way. Service Monster. If you guys are in the market for a CRM, which you always should be, continuous improvement, trying to improve business. I love Service Monster. That's the CRM we use in our Minneapolis-based business. Go check it out. Winter is the time to switch CRMs. Don't do it any other time of the year. That's chaos. That'd be crazy. You don't change your oil in your vehicle or change your tires while you're driving down the road. Don't try to change your CRM while you run your business. The winter is the time to do it. Slowest time of the year. Check out Service Monster. Scan the code, and there's like a deal, and then get whatever Dan gets, type of thing. So go check it out.
You can love it. And don't eat at Carl's Jr. It'll give you heartburn.
I was thinking about Hardee's / Carl's Jr. and Burger King the other day that I just don't drive past a busy one anymore. Golden Arches Supper Club is always popping, but there's like a Burger King in my the McDonald's is almost impossible to get in and out of next to my house, and yet that drive-thru is always full, and there's like maybe a car at the Burger King.
Yeah, they're not motivated employees.
That's what it is.
I mean, you go in there, the guy taking the order is like, "What do you want?" And then he's got his buddy in the back. He's got to wake up to make your fries. It's not going to go well. It's not going to be good.
That was what I identified as well as like there's a employee situation and just like a cleanliness situation. There's definitely an appeal situation. Yeah, there's a gas station in the Midwest called Quick Trip with a K, not the Quick Trip with a Q like you see in the southern Midwest and like Missouri, but up north we got the Quick Trip with a K. And man, if I was running a home service business, I would be trying to poach their employees. They do such a good job. They're all bulletproof.
What do you think the management team is doing to get that out of those kids? How does that happen?
In my opinion, this is just like what I have heard from talking to people that know other people. I mean, they have a really good recruiting program, obviously. As somebody that owns a recruiting business, as we always say, always be recruiting. Like there's never a time when they're not recruiting, and they have, I believe, from again just observation, a really good training program. Like you watch their trainees get trained, and you can tell it's not just like, hey, follow me around and watch what I do. It's regimented that they have a reason for doing everything and really setting good expectations, and their employees just execute it. Like nobody's standing around, they'll interact and BS, right? They're still really friendly, but they all know what the hell they're supposed to be doing there. It's a good experience, and it's always same with McDonald's. It's just always clean. It's clean. Looks like somebody gives a shit that there'd be people there, and they want.
And it kind of reminds you what you should be looking for on a resume. If somebody's been there, hey, that's what you need to be looking for. Let someone else do the work and lay the foundation. Bring them into your business and capitalize on it and make sure you're taking care of them. Come on In-N-Out Burger, come on Chick-fil-A. You know the places where if a kid worked there in their teens or college years, there's gonna be some hardwired good stuff in there.
That's a good point. Yeah, they're gonna like know how to do a job.
Yeah, because that's what it comes down to. Customer service or doing the right work. You either make the chicken awesome or you say you do customer service and take the order the right way. We overcomplicate this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone wants to say, "Oh, it's my personality that wins the job." I'm like, it does not win the job, buddy. You know what wins the job? Here's what wins the job. You're going to do it in a timely manner. You're going to do a great job. And I can go on Google and see you got 5 stars. And please don't drive out to my house anymore. Like, just tell me how much it is and when you're going to be out here. Oh, well, I've got to have my award. You're not Oprah Winfrey, bro. Like, just people want to look at your Google review, know when you're coming out, and give them a price. Fix the piping, fix the HVAC unit, paint the house. But we take a lot of pride in, like, I ran a painting company for a long time and power washing company. I know. I used to knock on the doors. I thought it was my award-winning personality. It's really not. It's, am I going to show up, follow up, do the job, and do it right, and have guys that'll clean up after themselves?
Interestingly enough, a few years ago, we went from bidding everything just over the phone or online to sending people out to do in-person estimates. And our close rate actually went down. Our ticket did go up a little bit, but when you combine the two, it's basically flat. Our close rate went down because it's not easy for them to buy. They have to schedule an appointment, and then they got to coordinate. And like, man, if somebody wanted to like schedule an appointment on my schedule right now, it's like, okay, how about I mean, even when you and I booked this, it's like 2 months out. It's like, okay, mid-January is the next time I'm free, unless somebody cancels a thing, right? It's like nobody's got time to have you come out to their house and do a thing. Like, we're all just getting busier and busier.
We forget what it's like to be the customer. I got 4 kids. I got basketball practice and guitar practice. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to sit around at 3:00 in the afternoon and take time off work so you can swing by my house. And if you're dealing with traffic, then you're going to walk around and like, this is like the ancient times. It's like, why don't you just fax me the daggone proposal? I'm like, come on. This is Amazon we live in. Amazon. Like when my son started the basketball team, we didn't go to the mall. Do you go to the mall? I don't go to the mall. I stopped going to the mall.
What's a mall? What's a mall?
I stopped going to the mall a decade ago. But if I said, hey, we've got to go to the mall to give you a quote, you'd be like, what the? And that's what people hear when you say, I'll be out in 2 weeks to give you a quote. They're like, meet me at the mall. We're going to go and eat some Dippin' Dots. And like,
we're going to go shop for some sneakers.
Exactly. You know, like that time is past. It's over. Let it go.
That's a good point.
Let it go. I want you to tell me how much it is, when you're going to be here, and then get the dang thing done right. Yeah. That's it. And you can call, text, talk to a robot. Hey, you could even use LiveSwitch and like do video because that actually does work well. But like, yeah, it's like, if you want to be a caveman, go ahead. Your award-winning personality 3 weeks out will win the job. No, it won't.
Yeah.
That job will be done. By the time you get out there,
else will have that thing done.
Somebody has snaked your money. So and look, old dog, you gotta learn some new tricks. And here's the thing: the new tricks aren't hard. The new tricks are not hard. Just because you haven't done it before, don't be scared.
I have as you say that, I'm like, I gotta look at my bookkeeping process. I do a demo with people, but I don't give them a price. Like, I need some data to be able to get them the price. And I should probably get that data on the call and work the price up right in front of them, because they go, I go, I send them a follow-up. They got to give me QuickBooks access or send me some bank statements, and they just get busy and forget. Like, I still close 80% of them, but the 20% that don't close, it's not because they don't want my service. It's because they get busy doing other shit. And then eventually they close way down the road, but they forget about. I had one guy that reached out. I think I did the demo with him 8 months ago. And he's like, I'm still interested in this service. And he's like a dude that I know. And I'm just like, yeah, Sean, I just need the bank statement so I can get you some data. It's like, I should have just had him do it while I was on the freaking call.
You want to front load as much as you can, because if they are crazy enough to get on the phone with you or a call with you, that's called closing time. If you're not closing, you're losing. Like, nobody got on the call with you, Dan, to see how your kids were doing, to see like what you had for Thanksgiving, to get your
That's
fantasy.
That's why they're watching this podcast. That's why they're watching.
That's a podcast. But when they're closing,
mm-hmm.
if you're doing your demo and you didn't get the money, guess what's going to happen? You ain't getting no money. None. When they sat down at the table, that's the time to eat. That's the time to close. Today, I was getting screened for another podcast, and the guy got so excited about our stuff, he brought on a homeowner or a home services owner, and the guy saw my stuff and bought on the spot. Boom. I didn't know the guy from a hole in the wall. But here's the thing. I was closing. I wasn't like, hey, let me get back to you with a quote. Let me work that up. Guess what would have happened? No money.
The excitement would have been gone.
Gone.
You've been off doing whatever.
Like, they're going to like you, usually, unless you're a ding-dong. They're going to need your services. Nobody just, I'm just shopping around for some bookkeeping. You know, me and the wife and the kids, I brought them in the van, and we're just
cruising out on a Sunday stroll. Looking.
Nope. I'm just coming to meet you a little bit. I like to hang out with my bookkeepers for about 6 weeks before I make the closing call. No,
they're ready.
Dude's like, my bookkeeping sucks right now, and I need somebody. And you're in front of me. You seem credible. Get the money, Dan. Get the money. It's like, when can we start? Here's the thing. If you screw up on your pricing, you can change it later. Once you get them in your system, they aren't leaving you. Unless your bookkeeping sucks. Well, then you don't deserve the money.
It's best damn bookkeeping, so it doesn't suck.
Well, you have the brand and the Under Armour thing on, so they should be buying already. You shouldn't even ask for the service. They should be laying down before you, be like, here's I have heard you're a golden god of bookkeeping.
They actually usually do. Like, they fill out my demo sheet and they're like, I know I'm supposed to use Dan. Like, how do I sign up? And I'm like, whoa. You got to listen to me ramble about my kids and my other shit.
My amazing personality will win you over. Let me tell you 18 stories you don't care about. And let me tell you about all the great work. And let me give you some references. You should talk to people before you buy. What? What's wrong with you, Dan?
Also, I'm going to need to get you a price later because I need to have you add me to your
Give them a price, Dan. Get the money, bro. Get the credit card. You're done.
This isn't like mutually exclusive, but my excuse for it taking longer is I have found over time that, like, I don't like to sell shit. I like to set really good expectations. People will choose what I've got if it helps them, right? My job is to set really good expectations. And so, but you don't need a long ass process to set really good expectations. And that's where, back to our home service business that Andy runs here in Minneapolis, we had these salespeople out doing bids, meeting with people, but then like the follow-up sucked because now we got to go back and we have more work to do later. And then we got to send it to them and then they got to opt in and we're emailing it over because that's the limitation of our system and people don't open emails. And so it's like our close rate literally like got cut in half, I'll say, from that process. And our average ticket's a little bit higher, but we're wasting money and time, and we're wasting their time too. And I think we could do, and we're changing it for this next year, but we can do at least as good of a job setting expectations, if not even better, because we can do it all in one shot. Teresa McConnell checking in. What's up, Teresa? But it just comes down to expectation setting, and how do you most efficiently set good expectations so that they know what they're getting? It's clear as day, and you can move forward as fast as possible.
That's right. Did your team leave with a credit card or leave with the next step? Because if you left with a credit card, you did a great job. You're going to get a reward from me as a sales manager. If you left with the next step, I'm going to say, move on to the next deal. You ain't getting it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to. Why are they meeting with you? Not because they're like, oh, I really want to meet a bookkeeper that I'm going to need in a year. And I'm just checking on you, Dan. You know, no, it doesn't matter what service you're providing. If they got you on a phone and gave you time, it's time to close. You're going in there to get the money, not to demo. Start with a close. Why not just start with, hey, when do you need this to get started by? Can we go ahead and get you started now? They've already done the research. We live in a modern world. They have looked at your website. They got you from a referral. They don't just let you in the door or on the phone or anywhere without already doing research. Like, nobody does that. We don't shop at the mall anymore. So go in there and just ask for the business. Hey, when do you need this by? Great. Can we get you started now?
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa. I need to see your demo. Okay, let me show you the demo. Because I usually lead with the demo and close with the close. No, lead with the close, then do the demo. Well, I can't ask for money if I didn't do the close. What are you talking about? They went all over your website already. Their mama said you're the best thing since sliced bread. Just sign them up.
Oh yeah.
We're just proud. We're just proud. We think we're very special. My mama thinks I'm special. That's great. No one else thinks you're special.
Teresa thinks I'm special.
Teresa thinks you're special.
Teresa, but she also agrees. You said undersell, over deliver, assume the sale, get the card. Exclamation!
Teresa, I will hire you now. If you need a job, just come to me.
Teresa doesn't need your job. Her business is crushing it. She's not going to take your job. She's going to run her business.
See, I start with the close, Dan.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, shit. Lesson number 1.
I didn't ask for the resume, no demo. I just said, hey, Teresa can close.
Yeah.
And coffee is for closers. Last time I heard. We love closers, don't we? If you own a business, you love a good closer.
Yeah.
How much do you love your salespeople?
Man, I'm going to have a hard time hosting the rest of this episode because my brain's just going to be working on my sales process now.
You don't need to work on just ask me for the money, Dan.
Yeah.
Ask me for the money. Hey, man, you need bookkeeping? Nope, we're good. I don't need bookkeeping.
Done.
But if I did, hey, man, you need some bookkeeping? I'm the best dang bookkeeper on the planet. Oh, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do it. That's the bookkeeping I was hoping to sign up for. Was the best one.
You see the best. Do you want to look at the rest? I don't. What a waste of time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, look, I'm just an old school guy who's knocked on doors for deals for home services. I literally walk neighborhoods. Like, I'm old school. I cold call out of the phone book before I had a computer on my desk.
Yeah.
Because I want the money. Got to do what you got. I got to put my guys to work. That's what I got to do.
Hell yeah. Tell us, this is for those that don't know, this is James' second time on the show. He's a 2-timer. Someday we'll do like what SNL does, and like a 5th time on the show, then there'll be something. I don't know what we'll do. It'd be cool. You get a jacket or something, maybe. I don't know.
I get a jacket? Oh,
it'll probably be like a clear plastic poncho, so don't get too excited. You know,
it's all right as long as it says best. I want the poncho now. I'm just competitive.
A poncho would be sweet, actually.
Yeah, Poncho James is in the house.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours. Here's a poncho.
Because I'm reining those deals in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Teresa, I don't know what this means. Teresa says, Dan has some flash that needs to be seen. I'm just picturing like myself running around flashing people around town. I don't know what that even means.
Don't do that. You're a redhead. No one needs to see your pasty flashes.
Dude, I'm so pasty.
Yeah, my daughter's a redhead. You don't get pastier than that.
Teresa. Oh, here's my flash. She says the monthly report Dan offers is unmatched in the bookkeeping world. That is true. I second that.
You're going pro in bookkeeping, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Fame. It's in your future. Yellow jacket, Hall of Fame in bookkeeping. Hey, it's okay. Deion Sanders gonna get his, but he ain't gonna get no bookkeeping Hall of Fame.
No. It'd be super nerdy. Like the emblem would just be a stack of books, maybe with a laptop like sitting on top of it.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have your like calculator and pocket protector in there.
Oh yeah.
You need like a visor with the green visor, you know, and like and the yellow pencil hanging off your ear.
Yeah, the number 2 chewed on. Definitely
chewed on. The number 2 chewed, where you can pick pencil break in the back of the bus. Anybody? I'm just dating myself.
I've never done the pencil break.
Oh, Dan, you're breaking my heart.
I didn't ride the bus, so I lived 2 blocks away from my school growing up.
You didn't ride? I rode the bus. Oh my goodness.
I did.
How did I lose my lunch money or make it rich every day? That's the bus, because we bet our lunch money every day. I was either eating like a king or I was fasting.
What? Well, what were you betting on?
We were in the back of the bus with a deck of cards playing poker with our lunch money. What were you doing? You were walking to school. We were stealing your lunch.
I was exercising. When I was in middle school, I rode the city bus, and I just tried not to get beat up or whatever. City bus is
Well, you
scary.
should have asked the people in the back of the bus if they wanted to put their lunch money down and like try to triple.
Could have won some real money from some people that had jobs when I was.
Yeah, you could have been bought. You could have had your own circle of bus rings, and you could have been bookkeeping and counting all your cash.
Parents would have thought I was at school. I would have just been bus hopping all day, just swinging cards around. Who knows?
We call that a hustle. We call that a hustle.
I think, as I say, who knows where I'd be? My immediate answer is jail. I'd probably be in jail, or at least maybe just getting out or just going back in. I don't know.
You could go through our program. We have a program called Inmates to Entrepreneurs. We put thousands of people through it, and it's actually a TV show. Look us up, Free Enterprise. We just won a bunch of awards. You think I'm laughing? This is exactly what we do. We teach.
I'm laughing. Are you serious though?
Hey, no, I'm serious. We teach inmates in jail, or because people don't like to hire inmates when they come out, so we teach them how to run a business rather than sell crack to kids. Because crack to kids is one way to make it. Not one I'd
that puts you back in jail. It actually could put you back in jail too, I heard.
Put you back, or we can teach you how to run a bookkeeping business. And so we have. And so Inmates to Entrepreneurs, Free Enterprise, get a box of tissues. You can't make it to an episode without crying. It's beautiful. But
that's sweet.
Yeah.
Where do I watch it? Where's it at?
ABC TV. You ever heard of ABC? I don't know.
It's America's broadcast company.
That's right. It's a little outfit. Look up Free Enterprise. My partner is the star of the show, and it's pretty good.
That's freaking sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Teresa says my therapist told me I could stop hustling. I don't know how.
You're born hustling.
Yeah. I wouldn't know how. Wouldn't know how to stop.
My kids love that show, the movie Zootopia. You ever seen that one? That girl is amazing. The little rabbit. This is what we call a hustling.
She's hustling, dude. I like the sloth though. Like the sloth
is great.
1 minute of glory.
The sloth is great.
Slow smile. It's just like it's coming.
That's a great scene. Unforgettable.
Wait for it. Tell us a little. We gotta get to LiveFlow at some point, or we should probably talk about LiveFlow.
I don't know LiveFlow, but I know LiveSwitch. But that's okay. I gotta give you our time, Dan. It's okay. You're the best darn bookkeeper.
LiveFlow is a software that we use for our reporting. Actually, we don't use it anymore, but just a Freudian slip.
Hey, no, I don't care. But if I get a chance to give you a hard time, I got to do it because that's how your friends are.
Yeah, I felt like you took it pretty easy on me there.
I could go harder.
But I was getting there, and then we got distracted with the 2-timer here, and we got into Hall of Fame type of jacket stuff. But
second poncho, I'm still getting a poncho. It's happening
on the 5th time. 5th time, you get the poncho.
All right, we'll get there.
Maybe the 5-timer club. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
I mean, poncho via. Let's go.
If you make it 10 times, then you get a burlap sack style poncho jacket.
Then
you can put that inside of the plastic one, so it's warm and waterproof.
All my friends will be jealous.
Elevating your poncho game. So a little over a year ago, you were on. LiveSwitch was pretty new into the home service space. I think I met you when we were at the huge convention that year.
Yep.
We were like, we got to do a podcast, man. So we did it. How'd the last year go? Like at the time, you were just getting into the home service space. I'm really good buddies with JC and Angela, and I see you like talking to them all the time and doing shit. JC was on the show on my radio show earlier today. He dropped in. But give us a little update on where LiveSwitch is at, what you guys are doing, cool applications you've seen. Give us the highs and the lows.
Yes, we're the technology company, right? So we have been picking up new industry after new industry and global all over the world. I got small business owners and large businesses all over the world using our stuff because here's the thing. Nobody likes to drive out to do bids anymore, and nobody wants to wait for your people to drive to give them a bid. It's like how the cavemen do it. So now all you have to do, somebody calls your business, needs a quote, you just send them a text message and instantly video connect, and you're off to the races. I don't care if you've got an HVAC, plumbing, power washing, painting. We've got them all. Holiday lights, folks. And we're saving you a trip in the truck. You're giving your prospect an instant quote, and that's it. That's how it's done now.
I'm literally texting Andy, who runs the Minneapolis business, be like, Andy, like I said, last year, I think I told him about LiveSwitch, but we didn't use it. We just kept using salespeople. But now we're already talking about switching and doing more digital stuff. And I was like, I don't know why I'm not texting Andy right now to be watching and/or, hey, check out LiveSwitch. So I just texted him. I was like, hey, check out LiveSwitch. Also, like, I'm live with James right now. So you just watch the show.
And here's what's going to blow your mind. And here's what JC does for his power washing company. He has people in the Philippines using our platform to quote from the Philippines to anywhere USA, any time of day, and getting cash.
Boom.
Again, well, I've got to drive in my truck with my award-winning personality. Really? Because my customers are like, I can do double the bids and I can get 2 hours with my family back again because I don't have to stay behind the windshield. I'm still getting the money. So, and that's just a part of our platform and it's the most popular, but we've got stuff where people can scan QR codes and give you like, here's what's going on after hours. So imagine putting together a premium membership. Let's say I'm a plumber, right? I'm a plumber. I'm running my plumbing business. What I'm going to do is put a QR code on your refrigerator and say, hey, Dan, anytime you've got a plumbing issue, scan that QR code, show me a video, take a recorded video, what's going on, and then we'll give you a quote the next day. Isn't that what you want in your home? Yeah. The leaky pipe, the toilet that won't stop running. Scan it at 11 at night, 4 in the morning, because that's when it happens. That's when your toilet decides to keep running at 4 in the morning, not at a convenient time, but when you're super tired. So you wander in to the kitchen, scan a QR code, walk over, take a video, show them the running toilet. You don't have to scroll through all the pictures of your kids anymore because nobody likes to do that. You just scan this, scan it, take a video, wake up in the morning. Oh, Dan, yep, we'll be over tomorrow. It's going to be, $100. We'll take care of that leak. Doesn't that sound nice?
That'd be the way to do it.
And here's the thing. It's not hard. It's not hard. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to go through 12 months of change management. We literally have people look at it, buy it, train it, and implement the next day. Easy. Because again, I was a painter. I was a power washer. I don't need another app. There's no apps. You don't need another thing. But I don't want to keep knocking on doors like I did. I just want to get the money and get it quick. And I don't want to have to do follow-ups and do my demo. The customer just wants to call, get a quote, have you out and get her done. That's what they want.
So I'm going to get selfish here and talk about this in terms of our window cleaning business in Minneapolis. One of the things we always run into is like homeowners don't know how to count window panes. That was always the pain in the butt when we quoted without sending somebody out there. Is there's the nuance to how we count it, what it is, how we price it. And it always sucked because we used to do it that way for a long time, but it always sucked when a tech would go out and Mrs. Jones said she had 30 panes and it's actually 90. And we had bid her $300 and now it's $900. And Mrs. Jones is pissed because we set bad expectations and our technicians freaking out because they're like, "Oh, I got 3 more jobs after this. Like this is an all-day job, and I had this and that, right?" And that was always the conundrum we got into, and that was why we started sending people out physically because we're like, "Man, we got to go get eyes on it." But what I'm hearing is they can just record video, and then we can see the video. And
because what a lot of window guys like to do now is go to the Google Street. Oh, because I can get half the house. Because at least that's better than Miss Jones. No, now Miss Jones taps a text, hits the record button, and walks around the house one time. That's it. She holds her phone up, she hits the play button, and then she's done.
Mm-hmm.
She can be in the middle of nowhere, too. It can be crap internet. Then your guys can watch the video in double speed, and you can take pictures while the video is going and count your windows.
Boom.
No more driving out. It's just not needed. Now, every now and then, Miss Jones can't walk. She's disabled. You're going to have to go out. But 90% of the time.
And then you walk around the house with the phone.
Then you walk around the house with the phone. Exactly. Yeah. But that's the minority. All of my own business owners are like James. We used to go from driving out every time to now you got to pay me to drive out. I'm not driving out. In fact, I don't even know if I want the business. It's just once you start using certain technology, like, oh, I really want to go to riding a horse again. No, you don't. Come on, bro.
I mean, some people do, but it's a hobby.
It's
and
a hobby.
not
Oh,
a
I want
means
my
of
fax machine back, said nobody.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the mall. No, you don't. You want Amazon and Uber Eats, and come on, Instacart is the best thing ever. My wife loves
Especially
that.
Instacart when you're out of town.
Yes.
Like when I'm traveling, it's like I don't know where stuff is. And I probably Ubered to get to the hotel I'm at.
Nobody wants to go to the grocery store. Do you want to push a buggy? Yeah,
I
don't.
do actually like going to the grocery store, depending on the mode my kids are in. Yesterday it didn't go so well, but I do like hauling my kids around through the grocery store and the ups and
You know
downs.
what I like to do, Dan? I like to sit my butt on the couch and watch football and let the grocery store deliver to me while I'm taking a nap.
We do that every once in a while. But
you are a saint. You go to that grocery store, man. You keep them in business.
It's and I'm also a weirdo in that I like bringing my kids. I kind of invite the chaos because it's never like smooth, but I feel like there's lessons to be learned at the grocery store. So I give them, it's a chance to teach some lessons. I'm also the guy there that's yelling. Like,
meanwhile, I'm back at my house tucking my kids in, teaching them how to do karate. And I'm never taking my kid to the grocery store. I hate the grocery store.
By the time they're old enough to go grocery shopping, grocery stores won't exist. It'll all be delivered. It'll all be in some warehouse somewhere.
And then each thing I want has 18 options. Well, do I want this pizza or that pizza or this peanut butter? If I made a grocery store, it'd be one peanut butter, one pizza, no thinking. It would be the smallest grocery store, and you wouldn't have to think.
Yeah.
You would be in and out of that grocery. In fact, we'll just deliver it. Don't come to my grocery store.
Yeah. Actually, this is just a warehouse now.
Like, I don't want to walk with a buggy. Like, anyway, I'm just a techie,
You're a step ahead. Do you think it'll get to that where grocery stores will be non-existent and just food just gets delivered? It'll be in a warehouse somewhere and you just put your order in and
yeah, I do.
Amazon.
I do. I don't think people like to walk through a grocery store pushing a buggy. I don't think people like to wait in line. I don't like to wait in line. I don't want to pick random items out of a cart and scan them. I mean, life is short, Dan. I want to take a nap on the couch. That's what I want to do. I want to go fishing. I want to play basketball and drive with my son. I want to, be on a podcast talking about bookkeeping with Dan and getting a contract. Yeah. So, but I do think things that, it's like back in the day when you had a horse and buggy, you wouldn't think there'd be a car out there to drive you somewhere. That would be insane.
You weren't like, hey, let's pull some crude oil out of the ground. I got an idea. We're going to pull some of this black shit out of the ground and do some shit to it.
Oh, and I'm going to pay money and stand there for 20 minutes and pump it in there.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet.
Oh,
and there's going to be all these little explosions. I'm going to come up with a thing with a bunch of little explosions.
And then I'm going to drive on the highway and someone can try to run me over and kill me. Like, that's what I want to do. Yeah. No, you don't. Nobody wants to do that. I want to eat good food. I want to laugh.
No, you're wrong. Amish people do the horse and buggy still.
Yeah, but they're cool. They're way cooler than us. That's a different kind of cool.
That's just like an old school badass cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's finally like 0.001% of the population do it. But the rest of us weirdos like to eat pizza on the couch and watch the football. That's what I like to do.
I'm in for that, except while I'm not drinking alcohol, I'm also on this like high protein, low carb food plan thing that my wife was doing. And I was like, I might as well hop, like I'm already not drinking and ice fishing season is right around the corner. And so I need to, most people like do a weight loss thing to try to lose weight. I'm doing a weight loss thing preemptively because I know I'm going to gain 10 pounds and I'm not going to like not do ice fishing, eat frozen pizzas all day, drink too much light beer. And so I'm going to lose 10 pounds now to give myself the room.
Okay, you're in preseason, buddy. Preseason.
Yeah.
You're I'm like Rocky, like dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah. I need to give myself some room to put on some calories so I can fit back into my pants. I want to get too skinny now that they're kind of falling off me, and then I want to fit back into them.
That's what you remember when you retire a pair of jeans because you can't fit in them anymore. It's a humbling day. You're like, I used to fit in these, and now even if I'm like, I'm taking a deep breath and like trying to get the button, and you're like, it ain't going, buddy.
That's I do have a weight on the scale and some pants where that's always like a catalyst for me. Is like, well, guess I gotta eat a little bit healthier and work out just a little bit more.
Yeah, the most humbling thing is my belt. Like I'm either going the right way or going the wrong way.
But do you have a ratcheting belt? Like I have a ratcheting belt now. I have no idea.
Mine has like the little hooks and like you see all the little holes, you know, and you know you're either going the right way or the wrong way, and you're like either very humble.
For I'd say the last 6 years, probably 10 years, I haven't had any notches or hooks in my belt. It's just ratchets until it stops.
Yeah, it's like one of those things with a truck where you keep ratcheting it, and you're like, "Yep, I'm in my pants."
Yeah, yeah.
Push everything out. Hey, I need some help to get my pants on today because I am not ready for fishing season.
I over-tightened the ratchet and the belt got looped, and now I can't undo it. A stuck ratchet strap is a bitch. It always leads to your fingers bleeding because something gets pinched when you're trying to like undo it. There's always blood coming out of a very sore, sensitive spot on your finger that the only way to cut it is to get it pinched in a ratchet strap. It sucks.
Man, this getting old thing is for the birds. Like, you know, it's bad when you get up in the morning and you've hurt yourself. Somehow I hurt myself in a bed of feathers. I found a way to do it.
I did one the other night. I was butchering some deer, and I think I did half of it, but I had like, it's whatever the knockoff Yeti cooler is from Walmart, a Lifetime or something like that.
Yeah.
It's 150 quart. Like just lifting the cooler with nothing in it by yourself is a workout. Like it's a squat, and it's awkward because of how wide it is. And so I've got it in my kind of dining room area. Like I'm cleaning deer. I got some big cutting boards. I'm watching some football on the Sunday night game. Maybe it's a Monday night game. No, it's a Sunday night game. And then I'm like, okay, well, I've got 2 more quarters in there, but I'm just going to go put it's 10 degrees out. Actually, it's freaking -4 right now. Holy shit. But I'm like, I'll just go put the cooler outside. I'll keep it shut so the meat doesn't freeze, but it's not going to warm up out there either. And then I got like 2 more quarters to do. And so I'm like walking through the house kind of sideways and through a baby gate thing. And just, there was a twist motion somewhere in there in my back. You know, if you take like a pop can, or in my case, more like a beer can, and you twist it, how you can just smash it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It felt like my spine did that. Like it twisted, and then it was just like, and I was just like, oh man. And so I went to bed, and it like wasn't feeling terrible, but I did that. I like rolled out of bed, and I was just like, uh-oh. Like there's not, I feel like if I move an inch in the wrong way, you know, where you like pop your neck all of a sudden and like you can't turn your head a certain way. I thought that was going to happen to my whole like torso. I was like, man, it just feels like when your neck gets really tender and you like turn the wrong way and you're like, oh no, I did it. Like, that's
and now,
my back is
now
on
when you're driving down the highway, it hurts to change lanes because you want to look over your right shoulder and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Gotta be careful.
Gotta be careful.
I'm rolling out my window and doing hand signs now.
Changing lanes is now a trick. It'll hurt me. Yeah. Well,
getting old, man.
Getting old.
Can't lift the cooler by myself anymore. But
no.
Oh well. So we're with LiveSwitch, what's the craziest application you've seen? I know last year we talked, you had a janitor guy in a stadium that was like using it to talk to his coworkers across the stadium. Have you seen any goofy applications in the home service space?
I got a customer who hangs TVs. Like you call him, they put your, installed speakers, TVs.
Oh yeah.
And his thing is like, James, I got a 90-year-old on LiveSwitch the other day. I'm like, let's go. So, because all you have to do is they send a text, the person taps it, and then you're live. Because some people are like, well, I don't want to be on video. What you gonna do? Come down and abduct me with aliens? You're like, oh man.
That's only after I give you a quote. I only abduct you with aliens after I can get you a quote.
The guy's like, I can come out in 2 weeks and give you a quote, which I'm not gonna do. Or we can do it right now. And all you take your finger. Can you point your finger like a foam finger? and tap the text, tap it, and
Touch it.
you're
Touch
connected.
the thing. Yeah.
That's all you got to do. No app, no nothing. Just taparoo the
Tippity
text.
tap.
Tappity taparoo. And then, but it's great. So that's been awesome. Like for me, because the guy was like, "Here, James, here's the reason why I love your stuff the most, because I get 2 hours back every day with my 2-year-old daughter, because I'm not behind the wheel."
Yeah.
And that's like, I'm done.
That's the win.
That's a win. I mean, the guy's like, I went from doing 4 bids a day to 8 bids, and I get 2 hours back with my daughter, and I get to tuck her in every night for bed because I don't have to drive all around Tarnation to get the jobs, to get my deals done.
Hell yeah.
That's what this is all about. You know, as much as people love to go around their truck all day and do 4 bids and meet people in their homes, you just don't have to do that anymore. And if you have...
Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You.
I was gonna say, is there, when a video gets done, I assume like it gets sent to the homeowner and to the business?
Oh yeah, it's fully recorded. You send it to the homeowner if they have a spouse they need to show. You show it to your operations people. If there's a problem like insurance or a dispute, it's like an instant replay. Well, let me check the videotape. No, we did say we were only doing this much of the job, and you agreed to the price. You see?
Yeah.
So you are protecting, and before and afters, you know, training. Like, hey guys, let's watch this before we go out. Like my business owners require their team, hey, watch the bid in 2 times speed before you drive out, so you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
So
is it easy enough to like download and put into your CRM, like on the job file?
You don't have to download anything. You just take a link, copy and paste it in the job file. Done.
Hell yeah.
It's all easy, because nobody wants to learn another Do you like to learn complicated software, Dan? I don't. It's terrible.
I actually, that's how I know that I'm getting old, is like I used to like learning new software stuff, and now I'm like, oh, like another software
It's
thing.
annoying. Yeah. No, I mean, it is literally as simple as copy, paste, done.
Boom. Is there do you guys build in any follow-up to it, or do you recommend a certain follow-up sequence that goes along with it? How do you find that?
There's some things that have your back. Like, let's say you want to do a bid, or look, you don't even need to be on the bid anymore. You can have a customer walk around and show them your stuff, and the system automatically reminds them to do it. Hey, haven't gotten your recording yet. You can just sleep in your bed, just go on your couch, turn on the football, drink your beer, and the system just reminds people. And you get a little ping. Oh, got a ping. Looks like I'm got a new lead to look at.
Somebody made a video for me.
I can look at my video. Yeah. So yeah, and you can put it on your website. You can put it on door hangers. Like literally, you can have QR codes on refrigerators. I mean, you got QR codes all over this right now. I see QR codes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to airlines, we can't even get on a plane flight without showing a QR code. So people know how to use it, and don't underestimate the older crew. QR codes everybody knows how to do them.
Yeah, they went from being like a cool thing that there's a few things in our lifetime that have done that, where it's like they were around for like a decade and just went unadopted, and it was like nobody could figure out exactly how to use them, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, oh, I just need them to go to this website or show or like have a thing on their screen. Well, wait a second, we can use those boxes with a bunch of boxes in them.
Exactly. Now it makes an 800 number look tedious. 1-800-7. No more dialing the 800 number. I don't even remember my own phone number. Just scan the QR code and you're connected. Isn't that nice? So your customers want easy, they want reliable, they want fast. Isn't that what you want?
I mean, like Venmo. When I'm losing fantasy football money and I got to pay somebody, like you don't send them your Venmo ID anymore. You just send them that little QR code thingy,
and you're done. No. Here's what people want, Dan. They want to wait for the phone book to come, go to Yellow Pages, call 5 different businesses, have 5 different guys come over, really think about the bid, negotiate, and then have some. Come on. But that's how we live. I'm telling you, home service people, you say you don't believe that, but that's how a lot of folks act. Well, I'm going to drive out. I'm like, come on.
And that's you don't want the customer that's going to call 5 people and shop it around and compare a bunch of vendors. Like, I'm out. Yeah. That's not the customer I want. I'm moving on.
They're racing to the bottom line, so your margin's lower. Then you're negotiating. Come on. We're not at a flea market. You want to negotiate, go to eBay.
I've had over the last year or two, I'll say, I've had a couple people try to like negotiate my price. And I'm just like, no, I just charge.
Actually, the people that negotiate get higher prices. Would you like to negotiate? We're going to start the bidding at $2,000. But
I'm going to double my price quick. And then
we're going to 2,500. Keep negotiating. I love negotiating. I love it. Keep negotiating. $3,000.
Yeah.
Wait, you just said, nope. Keep negotiating.
It's an auction now.
We're going up.
Against yourself. Yeah, I'll outbid you.
Yeah, no, my service is actually good. My quality is fine. And you can call and look at all my reviews. Or you can just use, here's a phone book. Why don't you have 5 people come out? Have a great life.
You're going to love it.
You're gonna
love spending your time on that.
Yeah. But
so what are some new places you see LiveSwitch going as it keeps growing? And you said international stuff. What are some cool industries you find application in?
I was on with a veterinary clinic yesterday. I was on with a guy who makes custom
walking around somebody's dog.
Just going around. You want to hear about a company that look? What do you think a company named Poo P-O-O Prints P-R-I-N-T-S does? What does a 13-year-old company called Poo Prints? What do you think they do? Good luck.
I mean, there's just so many. There's so many ways that could go. So many ways it could go.
This is with property
litter box. Is this a litter box thing?
You're getting closer. Okay. So imagine you manage a apartment complex, and people want their dogs. What would you hate as a property manager to do with an apartment complex that have dogs? Hey, Dan, we're going to need you to wake up every morning.
All the fucking dogs.
Pick up the crap. Sucks. So what Poo Prints does is you take a DNA test of the dog, very simply. And if your dog craps in the apartment complex and you don't pick it up, and the property manager will take a little sample, send that joker in, and send you a fine for $250.
Boom.
Boom. So we're helping the DNA test of the dog. So there you go. That's about as random as I can get. But I got universities in India using our stuff. I've got self-storage properties. I got restaurants using our stuff, home services. It's crazy. Because here's the thing. People want convenient. Like, think about this. You're in a restaurant. Do you like to stand in line, Dan?
As a matter of fact, at Disney, I do. Their lines are cool. They got that shit figured out. But in general, no.
They suck. I just want to get my chicken biscuit before I go in my truck and move along with my day. So now restaurants, instead of waiting to have someone take your order, so some of them are using apps. You've used an app?
I've used those.
Now you can just scan a QR code on the wall. Don't bother waiting in line. Scan a QR code. Place your order. Up pops a person. I want a chicken biscuit with a coffee and some hash browns. Great. Check out. Boom.
Boom.
Dan, here's your chicken biscuit. You don't have to wait in line anymore. No more lines.
I got Andy's in the house. He's got a question. I'll read it out. I don't know if you'll see this comment since I'm on the YouTube platform. As a matter of fact, Andy, I saw your comment and now it's on the screen. So what I'm curious is what % of people that request a quote actually shoot the video?
Yeah. There's certain people that won't do it. They ain't going to, you're going to have to drive on out. Come on out and see me at my house and walk around so I can see your award-winning personality. Back to Dan's thing. Do you really want that customer? Because they're going to be a pain in your butt. If they don't want to upload a video, but no, you're not going to get 100% compliance. There's not 100% compliance with anything. I can give away free money and still not get 100% compliance. Guaranteed. It's not happening. But how about 80% compliance? Because it's a high rate. It's higher than you think it is. And this is what people say. This is what the end customer says. They look over their glasses. James, why isn't everybody doing this? Well, here's the thing. We all didn't have a
That was a
smartphone.
pretty good old person over the glasses look. I can tell you're getting old.
If I look over my glasses at you,
yeah, you even had the head turn.
You had screwed up.
Yeah,
you done screwed up. But like now, everybody has a smartphone. I think you get a smartphone issued to you when you're born now.
Yeah, it comes with your social security number.
And if you have over 4 kids like me, they give you a van when you leave the hospital. They're like, here's your van.
Here's your classic van.
Here's your van.
Andy just had Andy didn't have the baby. Kelly had the baby, but did you get a smartphone for your baby?
Oh, my kids are, anyway, the smartphone is awesome. All right. But no, you're not getting 100% compliance. But what if you got let's do this. What if you got 25% of people being compliant? 25% of the time, 1 out of 4 times you no longer have to drive out. Would that change your bottom line? It does. It's a lot higher than 25%, I'll tell you that much.
What do you see that percentage vary by industry, or like what's an average that you'd expect somebody to hit?
It's going to be about 80%. And here's the thing. Here's the other thing. So when you live video connect, when someone's chatting on a computer with a robot, because we love to do that. Don't you like to talk to a robot, Dan? I don't. Don't you love to talk to someone on the phone? Look, a phone call and chatting closes at around 30%, give or take the quality of salesperson. But an in-person face, oh yeah. I mean, I've been dogging on the in-person face. It does close at 60% on any industry we're in. And I've got guys that track their data to a T and will tell you how many bids, how they did it, and what's the close rate. They're just wild about their data. And you should probably be wild about your data too. Some of the best operators I've ever seen are like data hogs.
Yeah, you got to be.
So my smartest business owners know their data. And I have had guys be like, James, when we go on site, I close at 60%. When I do a virtual estimate where my guy sees the video face, 62%. Phone call, 33%. Chatting, 30%. Well, why is a live video call, like a FaceTime call, why does it close? Now, FaceTime's terrible, but if you do a video call, why does it close at a higher rate? Just a tick higher. I'm not saying it's not. It's neck and neck. Well, it's immediate. You're going to be able to bid people that you wouldn't drive out to. As much as I want to spend 2 hours behind the windshield there and back again in the hopes I get the deal. Now, if I can close the person over a video remote call and get their money, I'll send my team out for an 1.5 hour drive. Heck yeah, get the money. But to bid it in the hope, that's 3 hours of my one day. That is crazy.
For a maybe.
For a maybe. I mean, I'll do that for a beautiful girl, but I'm not going to do it for my wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not doing it in the hope. But we do it every day, don't we? Well, it's a little farther than I want to drive. I'll send a guy out there at 3 p.m. And again, people are in the office. They're working. So having them take the video at 7 p.m. at night while you're sleeping, and you can wake up in the morning and review it and call them back, it's convenient for them. And guess what? It's convenient for you. It's all a matter of trying something new.
How do you, let's say they take a video, but it sucks because they didn't end up showing you the things that you need to see to actually do the quote. How easy is it to like re-instruct and say, Ms. Jones, can you take one quick video of this part of it? Like, I saw that you have this, but I couldn't quite see enough of it. And I need to be able to see that. Or, hey, Mrs. Jones, back up because you're 2 feet away from your house. And all I got was just a big up close of your siding, which also that appears to need to be clean, but I actually need to see all your windows.
Yep.
Like
so Miss Jones is at 7 p.m. and she's got her fingers over the camera, and you watch the video and you only see her camera, nothing, and she's talking. You're like, oh, bless her heart. That's the first thing you say. Bless her heart.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Second thing you do, you call her in the morning. Hey, Miss Jones, thank you for uploading the video. Unfortunately, it didn't come through. You had your finger on the camera. Can I send you a text, Miss Jones? Oh, yeah. Boop. She hits accept. And then Miss Jones walk me around. That's it. She's walking you around. It's built for remote assistance. It's all built for it. It's like, wow.
Can they do it without you on or do it with you on?
Either way.
Oh,
that's
cool.
right. They can go to your website, put their info, tap a button, and do it without you around. Sleep on your couch, drink your beer, and watch the game. And then you'll get a text. Oh, got a new video in. But if Miss Jones put her fingers over the phone camera, you can call her in the morning or resend her text, hey, Miss Jones, like, unfortunately. But here's what people do today. Here's what Miss Jones doesn't like to do. When you call her and text her and say, hey, can you walk outside and take a few pictures with your phone and then text them to me? That sucks. We had some concrete work done for our driveway, and 2 of the guys had my wife do that. Well, and then another guy had this stupid process where she had to put in all our info, find a way to upload the photos, scroll through all the pictures of our kids, upload, wait. That sucks.
Yeah.
Also, it sucks for her to go outside, take photos, find your email. Look, all they have to do now with our stuff is tap a text and walk out. Done. No scrolling, no nothing. It goes right up to your cloud and you're done. And it's a video and photos.
I know you answered this the last time we were on, but I'm sure Andy's thinking this and anybody else that didn't hear the first episode. What makes it different from just like a FaceTime or a WhatsApp video? How does LiveSwitch differentiate between just the other video softwares that already exist?
We have an entire platform. We always say when you're ready to graduate, hey, look, if you want to use free software, go for it. I mean, I can cut my grass with scissors too, but like, I'm not doing it. Do you really even use FaceTime now? No, you don't. You know why? It was never intended to do that. FaceTime was intended for my mother to watch my kids blow the candles out on birthday, not for me to get cash.
Yeah.
No real business owner uses FaceTime. Nobody on your conferences is standing up there. I found this great thing called FaceTime. Nobody, not one person. I'd love to meet them. I haven't. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we have tuned this up. It's the reverse of a FaceTime call. When the opposite, we went the other way. When the person taps a text, when it comes up, the person sees themselves big and you small. It's the exact opposite of a FaceTime call. Why? Because nerds with big glasses like me can't see crap. So I have to walk you around. A FaceTime call, I look like the size of a postage stamp. I'm going to fall down my stairs. Now, that's just where it starts. The entire thing is recorded. You're tapping into their cameras and can take remote photos. You can share your screen to walk them through a quote or your website. And it's recorded so you can share it with your operations team. And that's just the start.
I liked what you said earlier. I hadn't thought about that, but how cool would it be to be like, hey, Bill, you're heading out to this job today. Here's the walk around. This is what the house looks like. Because believe it or not, James, there's been a time or two where we cleaned windows on the wrong house.
I am so shocked. That's how the caveman.
Your face doesn't look like it.
It's because I'm waiting on my poncho. But like, no, I'm not shocked. This stuff happens. We go to the wrong house. I ran a home services company. I know. We have done all the stupid stuff. So it's just a matter of being like, I'm giving you a power drill, and you've been using a hand drill for the last 20 years. You don't even believe I've got a power drill.
Yeah, like how could it?
How could that happen? You know,
there's no way.
No way. You know, but look, and it's one of those things like, look, if you want to check it out, just go to LiveSwitch.com, schedule a demo. My guys will walk you through it. All you guys are smart. You run a business. You pay people paychecks every 2 weeks or every month. You're giving people great service. You're smart. The stuff is dead simple. And it's one of those things I talk to enough owners like, we went from driving out every time to never driving out, or until you have to force me to do this.
Now you're charging people to drive out.
Yeah.
Biz used to be free.
And you should. You should charge people to drive out because you're about to spend 3 hours of your time. You're more valuable than that. And it's just go back to shopping at the mall, please. Just go to the mall. I'll meet you at the mall. Let's go to the food court. We'll sit down.
I'll buy you
chicken biscuit
at the mall. Where's the mall? I don't even know where the mall is anymore.
I know. But, that's okay. I'm going to shop on Amazon and I'll meet you for a biscuit at the mall. But that's it's a natural adoption. It's like as technology comes along. Remember when you first started with your first smartphone? You had a flip phone before that.
I did. When did I get my first? I think I had a BlackBerry for a while.
You had a BlackBerry
for a little bit.
Yeah. And where'd your BlackBerry? It's gone. It's just a natural progression and now you wouldn't be caught. You probably almost feel naked if you don't walk out with your phone.
Oh yeah, I do a pocket check, and if I have my wallet on me but not my phone, that's a problem. If I have my phone but not my wallet, I'm like, the wallet will show up somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
It'll be this. It's the same thing with this stuff. It's the same dang thing. And I wish I was making it up. Like when I started building this stuff, we were reinventing the 911 phone call, and now it's across Duke University
Oh
campus
yeah,
for
I forgot about
emergency
that.
response.
Yeah.
It just so happens I met really smart home services folks. They're like, "You don't know what you have, James. This is liquid gold." And then, alas, I've got people all over the world.
Yeah, I forgot that it started as like a emergency service video thing.
Yeah, that's what it's for. And then it just happened. It's like a Nextel walkie-talkie. You remember that thing? It's
Oh,
just it's that thing. So,
with
but I'm
video.
not gonna sit here and say, like to answer the question, oh, 100% of people no. 100% of people are not gonna allow it because some people are worried about aliens and worried about the Russians coming through their phone and stealing all their money. You can't help that person.
My mother-in-law, bless her heart. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Bless your That's what we say in the South. It means
Yeah,
there's something.
yeah, I'm from Minnesota. I don't know if we can say that and get away with it. My mother-in-law is awesome, but she's very afraid of, like, you know how you write your last name on like your kids' mittens and stuff so you don't lose them? She
Yeah.
writes a partial last name because she doesn't want people to know, but she wants people that know them to know whose they'd be. I think that's kind of goofy. I'm like, if just lose the mittens and buy a new pair of mittens if you're so worried about having your last name on a pair of mittens.
That's right.
And if like there's a picture being taken, she will hide from it. She will not be in it. And I'm like, that's the lady that you'd be like, all right, so I'm coming out to
I'm
meet
driving.
with you.
When am I gonna be there? Wednesday or Thursday?
I'll
But
see
that's
you
okay.
in 3
That's
weeks.
okay.
See you in 3 weeks.
I'm not mad. They're just gonna get their stuff slower. And I would recommend raising the price.
And they're gonna pay more for it.
They should. They should. You want me to hop in my truck and take my time away from my family and my business? Of course, I'm making you charge more because
You
you're
get
scared to.
you get the in-person premium. You get
Look,
the
I'm not needing that. I'm not denying you service.
premium package. It's a premium package. You get the in-service premium.
That's right.
In-person premium.
That's right. Exactly. Because if I got to roll my pretty face out there, you're going to also make me a sandwich while I'm out there. This is what it is. But you can't.
It's raining. Where's my damn poncho? It's raining out here.
Exactly. But everybody knows. Everybody who's listening who runs a bit, they know. They know they're going to still have to do some of that stuff. But I'm talking about let's cut out 80% of the people. It's an 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
80-20. 20%.
I see that playing out.
That's how it is, man. And that's okay.
Do you is there, I was talking about follow-ups earlier, and it sounds like it'll do an automated follow-up if people haven't recorded the video yet. It'll do the automated follow-up. Once you have the video, is it I know a lot of people in our industries use Responsibly. There's some other like CRM things that'll do follow-ups. Do you find it's good to plug it into your whatever your follow-up system is and like put the link in there? Is there
we've done you one better, Dan. We're under
do?
the hood of Responsibly. Kurt, their CEO, and I were friends. And you don't even have to leave Responsibly. You can use LiveSwitch in Responsibly.
It just plugs in, or how do you guys do it?
You hit the on button. You can blow in the cartridge.
I've seen a button like that. Yeah.
Hit the on button. But yeah, no, our stuff is baked in to Responsibly, and Kurt and his crew do a great job, but we're under the hood.
Sweet.
You can just do all what I'm talking about through Responsibly.
Yeah, easy enough.
That's the plan. We like easy, man.
Hell
I make all of my team read this book called Simple. Nope. Here's the problem. I have to work with engineers, the coders. Great people. But you ever heard the word over-engineering things?
Oh, I've been there. I've made a spreadsheet or two.
And everybody's like, well, put all the AI in there and all. I'm like, no. What people want is when the phone rings, there's a button and you slide it. Whoop. Answer. If it's harder than that, it ain't getting used. I don't care how cool it is. Or if it does get used and it's hard, people hate it. Hate it.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to take 3 courses on how to use a system. That's painful. And I don't want to learn another app. I don't want to learn another thing. So our goal is easy, simple, and we just plug in under a lot of the systems you guys already use. So that's what we try to do.
Simple as that. I need to, my brain's already wandering to all the shit I need to change in my sales process. So I'm looking forward to that. I got some demos, I think right away next week. I'm gonna be tinkering, changing my flow.
I want you to do something for me, Dan, and tell me if it worked. The next demo you're on, just ask them for the business out the gate. Hey, my name's Dan. How'd you hear about me? When would you like me to start?
Boom.
I know it sounds a bit crazy.
Right now.
But here's the thing. If they say, hey, Dan, I don't know yet, that means they want your demo.
Yeah.
But I bet you do this in 10 times, the next 10 times, you can email me and say, James, I closed a deal and didn't do a demo. I can't believe it.
I don't know if I would, because I need to set good expectations, because I've also found that if I don't set good expectations, it never lasts. And I'm selling a recurring service for the rest of their life, because we're going to do the best damn job. So I do find I need to like make sure they know all the ins and outs, because if I cut those corners, eventually the lack of communication creates an issue. But there's so many.
I hear that.
My process is too long. There's too many follow-ups.
Could you not do that while you're working and doing set your expectations as you do good work? Like you do good work, right? I bet you believe in what you said. You do the best work. And that stands alone. Now, obviously, setting expectations is setting expectations. All I'm trying to get to the point is challenging people on how they sell.
I'm with you.
I just want to challenge people on how they sell. I've been selling my whole dang life. I've knocked on doors. I've made more cold calls than anyone ever met. I've closed I closed deals today from people I met cold, and they swiped their credit card. I hop to it. I get right on it, and that's it. Because I know I'm going to do good work. You know you're going to do good work, unless you're a thief, and you won't last very long. If you do crap work, you won't last. And people in this day and age will write about it on the internet. You are a thief. Dan sucks at bookkeeping is what they'll say. We just live in a different age, man. Thank God. Yeah. Thank goodness. The swindlers and snake oil salespeople, I'm done with that. But
go ahead.
No. I just like speed. I like to hop to it, Dan. Like, I don't want to take you on 10 dates. Like, are we good? Are we good or are we not? You know, I just bought you a steak dinner. We're in love, aren't we, Dan?
And to what you said, like when somebody hops on a demo with me, they're already sold, because I'm not our salesperson. I'm just the expectation setter. Teresa McConnell, who was on here earlier, and hundreds of other people, they're the ones that are out saying, you got to go check out Dan's service. It's great. Right. They do this month-end thing.
They're already sold. People don't wake up in the morning, Dan. They don't wake up in the morning, Dan, and say, oh, I need to meet with Dan this morning. They don't. So if they agreed and they actually got on the demo, 95% of the battle is won.
Actually, your data is about right. Your data is about right, because even with my shitty process, I still close 80% of them. I think if my process didn't suck, I'd be at 95. They're already there to have me do bookkeeping. I'm the one holding them back.
That's it.
Holding them back.
It just is what it is. We're not different. We think we're special because Mama said we were special. But here's the difference. You do a good job. That separates the men from the boys. Your work.
Got to get her done.
Get her done. And there you're good. I just want people to look, go through your dog and pony show, do what you're going to do, but I want you to know there's other systems, tools, technology, and things out there that are going to save you time so you can go sleep on the couch and watch football, because I like to do that.
I'm not much of a couch sleeper. Nap, like I can power nap for like 20 minutes and get up going hard, but if I get much over 30 minutes, then I just get more tired. So I'll usually just power through and just keep watching football.
See?
But if it's springtime and Jim Nance is talking about some golf stuff, I'm napping.
Oh, it's gone. Sunday, we are gone. Tiger might be wearing his red shirt, but I'm drooling on my beard. I'm out.
Yeah, I might wake up for like the last few holes and be like, "What I miss? Did I make a cool shot?" Yeah.
That's right. It's like after Thanksgiving, you are out. You're just pre-wired to be sleeping on Thanksgiving.
Easter, right? A lot of times there's a golf tournament like Easter weekend, and so you're doing like Easter stuff on Sunday, and then you end up sitting on the couch a little bit, and you got a little bit of a sugar rush come down going, and whatever ham or whatever you're having for Easter, that is a napping day for me.
That's why you can't get mad if your kids if they slept in class. You're kind of like, we were kind of hardwired to fall asleep in class. Like, I can't be mad at that. I can be mad if you talk back to your teacher, but I'm having a hard time being mad at you if you fell asleep. If my son falls asleep on the desk, kind of like, I get it. I was out too. It's Wednesday at 2:30, and you're learning about history. I mean, God bless Abraham Lincoln, but I'm out. I'm knocked out.
Yeah, history's a tough one. History's one you don't want to listen to that podcast on a long drive.
No, not until you're like 50. And then you're driving. Then it gets interesting. Then you're all in. Then you're doing war reenactments.
I was gonna say, so much of it is also in who presents it and how they present it. You can make the same story sound way cooler depending on how you present it and your inflections and stuff like that. But a middle school teacher going over history probably isn't going to be the most exciting character in your life.
No, when the PowerPoint is up. But back in my day, they had. Remember that? What is that thing called where they put up the
transparencies? They had the transparencies.
Yes. When the transparencies were up, the lights were off. It's over. It's over. I mean, I'm out. Oh, I can't do this.
Were you a lean forward and put your head down, or were you a sit back farther?
Lean forward. I was gone. Hoodie over the head, and I am down on the mat. Forward.
I'm thinking really hard, Professor.
Exactly. And then they wake up. You're like, no, I got my notes. Number 2 pencil.
Yeah, I was writing stuff down.
Exactly.
Abraham Lincoln,
man.
I got it. I was here for all of it.
Oh, man.
Nathan Jackson asked a really good question, which is, Dan, you get anything with the bow this year? As a matter of fact, I just tomorrow is the start of deer processing. My buddy and I stack up a bunch of whitetails all year. We were supposed to have an elk. He had an elk tag. We didn't get an elk, though. We went together to Arizona for like 16 days. Came back with a skull. Came back with a cool dead head. But it wasn't our dead. We saw that bull. We almost got a shot at it, but it was just out of range. But yeah, Nathan, I sound like a glutton here, but I think I have 7 deer in the freezer. Maybe 8. One decent buck, a lot of does, a lot of yearlings, stacking them up. I went out muzzleloader hunting with my 6-year-old daughter this last weekend, which was kind of like my last. I might get out over like Christmas or New Year's, but this is the last time I was like, I need one more because I need the right ratios to get enough jerky and enough venison bacon. So we popped a nice 1.5-year doe right at last light with the muzzleloader, and I think that made number 7. I think that was deer number 7. My wife shot her first archery deer this year. That was pretty cool. She also hit a really nice buck, and we never found it. We hired a dog tracker. We put all the time in to try to find this deer, never found it, but it showed back up on the trail camera, alive and well. So he's still running around. He was a really nice buck. We were hunting together, and I was like, it's coming in, and it was priority like Marty shoot a deer with her bow, and I'm like, am I about to shoot this buck? Like, this is a nice buck. Like, is Dan going to shoot this one? It's like, no, we're here to get Marty a buck. And I'm like, well, it's at like 40 or 50 yards, and that's out of her range, but it's in my range. Maybe I should just let one fly. But we were patient. She got a shot at 30 yards and just didn't. It was an okay shot, but she was using like my old bow, which in 15, 20 years, like the archery technology, like how fast they can get arrows to fly now with not very much poundage. I think she was pulling back 40 pounds, but then we went to the archery shop, spent a couple $1,000 and got her one that shoots 45 pounds, and it's damn near as fast as like my bow I bought 2 years ago.
But if it ain't broke, Dan, why fix it? I've been using that bow for my whole life.
I do. The bow she was using shoots really nice, and it's just great for like plunking at a target. I mean, I killed probably 100+ deer with it. Like, it kills a lot of deer, but I had it at 55, or I think it maxed out at 55 or 60 pounds. And just at 40 pounds, It just didn't have enough oomph. If you would have hit it right, but it was a setup issue. And wrong broadheads, wrong way to arrows. Like, it was just, here's my old shit. Let's go bow hunting, right? But she liked it. She got the ups and downs of the journey of the process, and then she ended up shooting one like the next weekend. We got one, and she smoked it on her second shot. She shot the first one, but she was so excited she pulled her arrow like 2 feet left of the deer altogether. And after the fact, she also realized, like, oh shit, I also used my 30-yard pin instead of my 20-yard pin. So, and the deer, quick story, I've already told on the podcast before, but just because now I'm talking about it. We were crawling up the tree. We were halfway up the tree, and this deer came out on the trail. It was just a little yearling, and like, we were kind of brown as down. Little bucks we would have passed, but does, yearlings, and big bucks were on the menu. And it stopped on the trail and proceeded to stand there for at least 20 minutes. And like, I'm up the tree, but not settled in. And it's like 40 degrees and windy. And all I have on is a base layer. Cause like, I was setting the sticks and I was climbing the tree and getting everything. So I'm like, I don't wear all my stuff. I carry it up in my pack. And then I'm up the freaking tree, freezing my butt off. This deer's just standing there looking around, chilling, not concerned. Like, kind of knows we're there, but not. And it came because I was snapping some sticks to like make sure I had room around me to swing around in my saddle setup. And that's what it came like jogging in, like, what's going on over here? And my wife was halfway up the tree, like just hanging, just stuck. And then I started throwing stuff at this son of a gun. I was trying to throw the brightest stuff that I had in my pack. So handsaw that had a red handle, because I was like, oh, I'll find that in the dark. But I clanked. There was one tree between us and the deer, and I hit it dead on. Like, could have missed. I mean, it wasn't a big tree. Could have missed left. Could have missed right. Could have hit the damn deer, but instead it hit the tree. And I think it should have still done the trick. It hit the tree and was like, clang, and then like down to the ground, and the deer just like looked over at it. And then I had 2 different bottles of like deer scent stuff. One with the yellow label, one with the red label, both of which I was like, oh, I'll find these in the dark. One of them, I like stuck the landing 3 feet in front of the deer, and it just did like it like peeked up at it. It was like, what was that? And then another one landed in a puddle right next to it. Had to have splashed it. Deer didn't care. So I'm like, now I'm just out of shit to throw at it. And I'm just like, Marty, you're just going to climb up the rest of this tree. And so she like ninja'd her way up. She even had to like switch ropes coming up the tree because there was a Y in it. She got up the tree, got in on her side of the tree. Deer is still standing down there. Like, it would look away and she'd go up another foot. It would look away and she'd go up another foot. And then I started pulling her bow up. Both of our bows are on the ground. I pull her bow up, and that was when the deer was like, wait a second, and started stomping at us because it just sees this bow floating in midair. But I've got I'm up against the tree and I've got my back turned to the deer, but I'm kind of watching it. And I pull the bow up, and now the deer can't see the bow anymore because it's behind me. And so I'm like, Marty, get your release on. So she gets her release on. I'm like, Marty, like, here's your bow. I knocked an arrow for her and I handed her a bow. And the deer's starting to get nervous and it's going to like walk back the way it came. And she gets pulled back and gives it a Matt, stops. And she just goes, like, instead of shooting and like fouling through, she swung her arms like she was Steph Curry shooting a 3-pointer, just fading away. And that arrow missed that deer by like 2 feet. And we were just like, we were laughing. She was really frustrated. I was just laughing so hard because we went like 30. We almost wasted half of our hunt waiting for this little son of a gun to move. And then finally we got a shot at it, and she was just so excited. She like forgot all the things with shooting a bow, and she's a really good shot. She was just so dang pumped up. And so then we got settled in, and I was putting layers on because I was freezing my ass off, and I pulled my grunt call out of my backpack, and the mouthpiece came off, and I was like, oh shit. Well, now I can see that the reed is screwed up, so I'm fixing that. I put the mouthpiece back on, gave it a couple, and I'm messing with it, and Marty goes, oh my God, here he comes back. Sure enough, this little nubber buck comes right back down 20 yards. And then she pulls back, but she gets stuck. Like, she just couldn't quite get it over. And she had to spin around awkwardly. So now she like doesn't have, like, when you're pulling a bow back, there's just like a movement that you do to get it all the way back. But when you're awkward, you can't, like, your shoulders aren't in the right spot. And so she like got stuck, and I stopped the deer. I gave it up, Matt, because she wasn't. And I stopped it, and then she couldn't get her bow back. So now she's like back all the way in, and she's just looking at it. And I'm like watching her and watching the deer. Like, what's gonna happen here? I might as well have been eating popcorn. And so she just like the deer's watching her, but it's just his day to die. The deer just was like,
clearly, by this time you could wrestle him. You could like
could have just jumped down and got him, but so then she just pulled it back, and he kind of like looked at her funny, and she got on it and heart shot him.
Got him.
Punched him. We got to watch him fall, which is always in daylight. We were back home, and it was still sunset.
That was her deer, man.
It was just meant to be. It was meant to be.
I mean, you could have just put the knife in your mouth and like fell out the tree and just
damn near could have.
I'm sure you wanted to, but hey, that's what we call teaching. You know, you gotta let her mess up.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was it's good to have the ups and downs. That's like part of the. I don't know if it's part of joy. Maybe isn't the right word, but when you do have success, it's so much more fun after some close calls and failures and like that emotional wave. If all you have is shooting deer and killing them every time, like you kind of lose some of the. It's like if you went fishing and you never missed a hook set, and every fish you caught was a trophy. Like it's just not the same. But
that's why we always say I'm a fisherman. Like that's why we call it fishing and not catching.
Oh yeah.
That's why you call it hunting. You know, if you want to catch it every time, just go to the grocery store, swipe your credit card. The chickens are easy to get at the grocery store.
And way cheaper than going hunting. Way cheaper.
But you know the thrill of the hunt. Come on.
Oh, dude, you can't. There's nothing like it. There's no drug that Ted Nugent says, like the dude's as sober as it gets, but there's just no drug like pulling a bow back on a big whitetail or whatever it is that you like to chase. Nathan said he's still got a 15-year-old Matthews. There's something about an old bow, like they're not as fast, but there's a lot of bows that shoot real smooth. And they're fun just to have just for going to the range.
Old time's sake.
He said, what would you say is the biggest difference from running a bookkeeping business versus running home service businesses? Which business is harder to operate? I think the home service business is because they're both people centric. Bookkeeping is just like a maid service business. It's recurring service.
Yeah. Recurring revenue is so much better. You know?
It's better, but it's also that much more impactful when somebody does have a bad experience. Like you're losing a lifetime worth of revenue if you don't deliver a good service. It's not like, oh, we'll get it next time. It's like, shit, like that was a lot. And now we have a detractor out in the world. Right. And my team and I talk about that all the time. We have one metric in our bookkeeping business. Only one: attrition rate. We can't fucking lose clients. We can't. We have to be the best, because if we lose them, they're never coming back. They're going to tell a bunch of people. To what James said earlier, they're going to be on Facebook bashing us. I actually did have 2 people bash me recently. It was really frustrating because they were bashing an old business. And when things went wrong, it was when I was lawyered up trying to exit that business. And it sucks. It like carried with me, and they still like hold it against me. I'm just like, I don't know what to do, but you can't let it get to you, but it fucking gets to me. It drives me crazy.
I mean, when I first met you, you were just transitioning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We just started this business. Yeah. So Nathan, I think the bookkeeping business is a little bit easier to run in that sense. The harder part is our clients are small business owners, and they're hard to chase around. It can be really frustrating trying to get communication from a small business owner. And we joke about it, but it's true. A lot of times it's like we communicate every single week with our clients, and we'll have some we don't hear from for a month, 2 months, 3 months. And then they'll finally send us all their shit, and they'll be like, I need this by next week. And you'd be like, bro, like, I'm going to send you a singing telegram, and with it is going to be a punch in the crotch. Like, right. I don't know how to pay for that singing telegram, but that's what's about happening.
And the home service business, when the pipe is leaking, they want that junk done quick. They want you out yesterday. Bookkeeping are like, well, I'll get it to you at April 14th instead of the 15th.
Yeah. We aren't their priority, right? Yeah. Home service business, you're usually a priority for them. Like they called because they need something. Bookkeeping, it's like, and it is funny. And James, to what we were talking about on the demos, I do need to do a better job of like, when I'm on a demo, we just got to do it because we're here. Because the minute you're off this call, bookkeeping goes back to being way on your back burner, because your customers don't give a shit if your books are good. And really your employees don't give a shit if your books are good. And those are the 2 people that demand all of your time all the time when you're a small business owner. Your bookkeeper tries to get your time, but we're so far on the back burner that it is funny when your customer doesn't not that our customers don't value us, but you're not an immediate need for your customer almost ever. The only time you're an immediate need is when things really suck because they have a tax situation. And so like the only time you're ever really needed is when they're in a shitty mood. So it's like kind of it'd be like being a government employee in a way. It's a little bit thankless, probably. It's a bit thankless.
The home service is just more immediate. You know, they need it. They need it now, and they're going to do what you need to do to get it done.
Yeah.
So, but it's more work, and it's not recurring revenue all the time unless you're in a home services business. Like I would say, more the plumbing, HVAC. You know, where you can put people where you're coming out more often. But if you're in a painting company like I was, I mean, or roofing. I'll see you never again.
I'll never see you again. Yeah, like I will have sold this business and I will be retired.
I'll see you in 20 years. You don't have repeat business in the roofing business, but you got big money in the roofing business, and those guys get paid. They got great margins. So, you know,
got to keep killing stuff and bringing it back to the cave every day. Got to keep hunting.
Got to be on the hunt.
I think that actually, like, this is personal for me. The thing I really like about running a bookkeeping business is it reminds me a little bit of college in that you have the ultimate responsibility and the ultimate flexibility. College isn't a good example of the ultimate responsibility, but like you got to choose your schedule. You got to choose how hard you wanted to study, right? You got to choose when you did it, when you booked your classes for. And I remember like I thrived in that world. Like I got freaking 3 majors when I was in college. I loved learning shit, studying, and then going to the bar. I was perfect at it. I could live that life all day. And bookkeeping in a funny way reminds me of that because it's like I love working and playing at the same time. Like I'll be out deer hunting, working on my phone. Like I don't mind that at all. I like to do family, business, and play all at the same time. And I can't do that in a home service business the way I can do it in a bookkeeping business. Like bookkeeping
and staffing a bookkeeping business, you're also going to pay a bit more for that education, you know, when you're adding staff, but you're going to get, on the whole, more reliable staff. You're going to pay more, but you're going to have more, you know, longevity. And the home services, everybody says they can, you know, fix the toilet or put the roof up, and then they're a dime a dozen. But once you find those guys that are good, but yeah, I would say staffing is different. You know, it's just different, you know.
Yeah. He asked about Christmas light businesses. I was looking at that with Andy, but we didn't segment holiday lights specifically today. I think we were going to do that next week. I'll say it was good. And I'm also watching what all of our clients are doing in holiday lights, right? Like I'm kind of watching how different industries are performing. And I'll say watching a bunch of maid services and pressure washing companies and exterior cleaning and landscaping throughout the last 12 months, like pre-election, everything was a little bit like some people would be doing a little bit better, but like the number of people doing well and how well they were doing for the last 3-4 years, kind of since COVID versus just really the last like 12 to 18 months, less and less and less people more recently have been thriving the way we were post-COVID. But I will say holiday lights didn't seem to have as much of a struggle. And I don't know if it had I did hear from a couple of my clients, like, man, the minute that election was done, and I don't even know if it matters who won it. I think just the fact that it was done, all of a sudden people are like, okay, we get to like that uncertainty's gone. Now there's some certainty, and therefore we can start making decisions again. Like people were just waiting. And so I generally saw holiday light businesses continued to, I will say individuals in holiday lights didn't always grow as fast as they had been. I don't think it's a function of the market getting worse. I think there's just so many people doing it. And it's also hard to maintain a 50% growth rate when you're damn near $1 million business. Like your growth rates do tend to slow down. But I saw a lot of people do really well in holiday lights this year.
Well, I mean, our holiday lights customers, like we have a bunch of holiday lights folks that use our stuff, tend to do pretty well, obviously, as they're more aware. It's seasonal, it's quick, it's get the money. Those margins are great. The average deal size in holiday lights is fantastic. And if you got a crew that can get it done, it's how fast can you turn that business, get them and get those lights up there. And you just, it's all out. You're running on the volume on 11. That's holiday lights.
Do you see, and I think you mentioned this with JC earlier, but I don't know if I thought about it. Are they having customers walk around the house and then they're drawing up a proposal for holiday lights from that video?
Yeah, well, not just video, the photos, right? You have the customer taking the photo and the video.
Yeah,
They send the photo to the design company puts that, they send it to the guys get out there and do it. It's perfect.
Shit.
And he has people doing it from the Philippines.
Yeah.
People quoting just because he just needs the photos and the video and done.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, I was like, I heard you say that, but my brain went to pressure washing. Like, yeah, they walk around, they get the square footage, they see if there's anything they got to worry about that's oxidized or whatever. But yeah, holiday lights, like if you can see everything and you can get an idea of the measurement of it, you can quote it.
It's just like the Windows company, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just holiday lights ramps up fast. So you just need to be ready for speed.
You got to go.
You gotta go. You gotta get the business, put the business up. So there's offense and defense. Well, it's not really defense, but you're on offense the whole time.
Yeah, it's offense. It's a full court press or full court press.
That's it. And I mean, that's just be ready, and obviously no one does holiday lights year round. So make sure your year round business is just as good. And holiday lights are great for seasonality. When it's getting cold, now you got your holiday lights. It's almost like I'd want a holiday lights company, a snow removal company, and a tree company, and then my power washing company.
I disagree with one. I disagree with one of those, which is I don't want a snow removal company because it's really going to interfere with my ice fishing.
Oh well, yeah, that's true. So that's.
But maybe I would just take my plow truck up on the ice and I just plow roads for ice fishermen when I'm going in and out, and I would plow only one road to where I wanted to ice fish, and I'd plow a different road somewhere else to keep every other jackwagon away from me.
That's right. Although I know my buddy who owns a tree company and a snow removal company, he's killing it every year.
Oh, they do. They do great. They do great.
Killing it.
I'm killing the walleyes while they're out killing snow. I'm out killing walleyes. And bookkeeping while I do it. And I'm sitting.
That's why you need a good crew, man. Good crew. You go get the walleyes, and your crew's taking care of the snow. You're the big boss, man.
Yeah. And then you bring them back some walleye sandwiches.
See?
Yeah.
Sometimes I would get you out of murder. You can get 5 to 10 in the pan, or you can get a walleye sandwich.
It's your choice. It's your choice.
Anyway.
How does somebody sign up for LiveSwitch? Where should they go? How do they get this fancy ass tool you got?
LiveSwitch, LiveSwitch.com, LiveSwitch.com, and you will get to me or one of my wonderful team, and we'll take care of you. And we'd love to, show you around system. Easy peasy, but we're easy to get. LiveSwitch.com.
Yeah. I know we gotta scope it out for our Minneapolis business, especially after Andy and I's combo. It's like the perfect time. It's just the world aligned like it does sometimes. You're just like, now is, and of course I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off and hadn't even thought of it until I was like, shit, why aren't we Andy and I literally talked about this today. So good timing. Nathan says, is ice fishing that fun? I'm from Texas. It seems so cold.
Dude.
Yeah.
Educate that man. Like it's not.
There's a few things going on here, which is ice fishing isn't what you think is kind of like one of the baselines. It ends up being more like glamping and pulling fish through the floor. I'll get to that in a second. But also when it's cold, like we have the technology to stay warm when it's cold out. We have the apparel, we have the base layers,
that you guys have are ridiculous. It's so fun. It's an excuse to drink beer, get away from the family, and pull a few fish in.
Yeah. I mean, like my family is who I do it with. Like every weekend we like pull our kids out of school. There's no education or no substitute. What's the line? There's no substitute for a good education or something like that about like getting kids out of school into the real world.
You gotta pull them out.
I got the quote wrong, but anyway, I pull my kids out of school all the time to go ice fishing. But one is, Nathan, like the clothing technology, you can dress for anything. Yeah. It's way easier to dress for cold than it is to undress for warm.
Although undress for warm, people be looking a little better. Not me.
I mean, but at some point when it's 90 degrees out, you can only take so many layers off.
Yeah, you're dead. No, you're dead. Like heat is,
I
cold
can't do
is
heat.
way better.
Cold's easy. Cold's easy. You just put some more shit on. You get some layers.
Drink a couple of more beers. I mean,
for a couple more beers, your beer, like the only challenge you have is it gets so cold your beer freezes up. You just got to drink your beer fast enough to get to the next one. You put your beer. It is funny when you put your beer in a cooler so it doesn't freeze. That's when you know you're
twist your brain.
Yeah, that's when you're out ice fishing. You always put your booze outside. Sometimes it gets so cold the booze barely flows. That's when it's real cold, like 30 below type of stuff. But Nathan, to what James was saying, like when we go ice fishing, we're in a camper out on the ice. You drag it out behind the truck, you set it down on the ice. The heater's at 70. You got the TV. You got a stove.
Dude,
you got
just watch Grumpy Old Men, that old movie. You'll get it.
Yeah, you're watching.
Am I right? That movie, Dan.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean that's like a poor man's version. Like this is like what's
that was because it was like 30 years ago or how.
That was 1990s ice fishing. Now it's like what's the nicest RV you've seen? That's what's out on the ice. Is the inside? It's like a knotty pine interior with a rubber floor, or you can do carpet, but carpet's not great. I like a rubber floor or like a vinyl floor better. And you're literally like in sweats, in slippers, hanging out, playing board games, drinking beer, watching movies,
and fishing.
And every once in a while, you pull a fish through the floor. And every once in a while, you got to go outside and pee on the ice. More when you hit like midday, because the biggest challenge actually with ice fishing is, like 8, 9 a.m., you're making some coffee, you're throwing some Baileys in it. I like to cook up some breakfast in the house. And then you're like, do I have another Baileys in my coffee, or do I go to a Bloody Mary, or do I just grab a beer, or do I do like a tequila sunrise or something? And so and then like all day is this, and why I need to lose 10 pounds now is because I'm for sure planning on gaining 10 pounds
You're
later.
Preseason, man. Preseason. You're dropping weight.
Yeah, I'm warming up. I'm just getting started. But so that's your decision all day is like, what do I want to eat? What do I want to drink? I do. If it's like above 0 degrees, I'll go put tip ups outside, which is like fish bites, flag pops up. You're scanning, you're looking. I do have like some Bluetooth alarms that'll like make noise and let you know they're up, but I kind of like the excitement of just like looking and be like, oh my God, there's a tip up. And sometimes you actually see it when it pops and the flag's going back and forth yet. And then you throw some boots on and you run out in way too little of clothes. And you're like, go, go, go. It's 30 degrees out and I'm in a t-shirt and shorts. And like, all right, like that's just fishing. Okay, my hands are getting cold. Back into the fish house. I'll come back out and grab this. That gives you some exercise. That's your exercise for the day. You run out 20 yards, grab a walleye on a tip up. The end.
That's a good day. That's a good day.
He says, oh snap, it sounds fancy. Yeah, it's like there's not too many people that you'll see guys drive out, put a pop-up up. So they're still like inside of a shelter. It's called a pop-up. And they're sitting out on the ice. They're in a comfy chair, right? They're not sitting on a 5-gallon bucket type of thing. You can do that. There's plenty of guys that do that. Those are the guys that are out there to actually fish. When I'm out there to drink, play games, watch movies, hang out with friends, hang out with family. It's ice camping in the winter, and you go out for 4 or 5 days. You're living in there. It sleeps. I think our fish house will sleep 6 people. If you all know each other well, you sleep 6 people. But you're just out there partying. Hopefully you get along well. If you don't get along well, you're in a pretty small space for an extended period of time. That can get a little testy, but
got to get those Texas boys up there and show Nathan how it's done.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We do have a business owner ice fishing trip the week before Sales Boost or Home Service Workshop, like a week and a half before. It's right over Valentine's Day, but I think I'm fully booked up. I maxed it out at 16 people because 4 trucks and 4 fish houses is a lot for one redneck dude to coordinate. But if you're game, actually, it goes long. I started a new, James, I don't know if I told you about this. This wasn't a dream of mine last year at this time. But since then, there's so many like mastermindy things, but all I really want to do is hunt and fish with other business owners. So I'm starting a new mastermind called Business Owner Outdoor Badasses, or BOOB for short. The logo is going to be the best. The logo is where it's at, but Business Owner Outdoor Badasses, it's a mastermind, but there's no masterminding that takes place intentionally. But what I find is if you just are hanging out with a bunch of business owners, you're just going to do this stuff and talk business. And I'm going to learn from James how to change my sales process when we didn't even get on here to talk about my sales process. But when you're around smart business people, you're just going to do smart businessy things. You don't need to have an agenda. You don't need to have a workshop. You don't need to have all these plans. You just need to all hang out together. So the ice fishing thing is 16 business owners hanging out. We're drinking, we're ice fishing, and there's only like 7 of us last year, but unanimously everybody's like, that was the best business event I've ever been at. Like, learned the most, had the most in-depth conversations. Because what are we all going to talk about? We're going to get together, and all we're going to talk about is business stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe some kids, maybe some spousal stuff, but all that goes along with our businesses too.
Just a bunch of boobs.
Just a bunch of boobs sitting out on the ice, man. Just a bunch of boobs out having a bunch of beers. Just boobing it up.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Boobs, man. Nathan says, is it cold plunge first, then drink, then fish? I mean, if you're good, you just do them all at the same time. Hopefully nobody cold plunges. We haven't cold plunged up there. That's some real cold water. Yeah. I don't I mean, you can get in and get out and make it. But the harder part of cold plunging up there is like you're not driving out until there's 14 inches of ice. So you better have a long ass chainsaw if you plan on cutting a hole and dipping down in there. And if there's any current and you got under the ice and went the wrong way, you might as well just not cold plunge. Just stay warm. We can dump an ice cold beer or 2 on your head. Cold plunge. Wisconsin style cold plunge.
Just a bunch of boobs.
Couple ice cold bush lights on your head. That'd be real good cold plunge. All right, James, this is a pleasure, man. Not that I would have thought anything less, but that was a hell of a lot of fun as expected. Any closing thoughts? Any closing comments for us for the nerds here?
No, just guys, keep working hard. Keep running your business. You're in good hands with Dan. If you need bookkeeping, if you need high tech redneck like me, you got technology here. And keep hunting and keep enjoying life. It's short. So appreciate you having me, Dan. As always, time flies with you, my man.
It does. We'll do it again. We'll do it at least 3 more times so we can get you a poncho.
I need that poncho. And if it doesn't show up, I'm going to go cry in the corner.
All right. Well, nobody wants that. And then somebody nearby is going to need a poncho to
all my tears
dry from your tears, man. Like that's cartoon style, just spraying. Well, I appreciate you hanging out, James. Thanks, audience, for hanging out with us and asking some good questions. We'll be back next week. I don't even know who we got on next week, but I know it's all lined up because somebody wanted to jump on the show, and I'm like, how does early February sound? So we're stocked. We got, like I said, if somebody wanted to get on my schedule, I don't even know what I would do. I'd be like, I'll see you in mid-January sometime. So we got all sorts of fun lined up. In the meantime, you guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn yourself some pride. And go revise your sales process like I'm going to do, and go check out LiveSwitch and Service Monster. You guys know what to do. Peace out.